All right. Right here I have my set design. I made this for Eurydice. Generally this is not focused on any specific scene here, but merely just a template that I can use throughout the entire play, with the aid of props, lights, and sound. This is meant to be a thrust stage, so we will have audience here, here, and here, with a wall here, with the elevator door right here, because, as you know, the elevator plays a large part in Eurydice, as with how to get down and up from the underworld. Um, so I made this using, generally I used a lot of the foam core, but I quickly ran out of that considering that I used it for the base of my stage here. It's a 24 feet by 16, there is 16 feet stage, other words 12 inches by 8 inches, on our scale here, a little bit bigger than it's like a tall piece of paper, think it that way. Um, yeah, I ran out of the foam core. I used a little bit of cardboard here, some colored pencils. When we're talking about the elements of design here, one I focused on was color. I thought that it was important to show these hues of blue and black throughout it. I didn't have a lot of access to paints or anything, so I did my best with my colored pencils. Black, because obviously this takes place in the underworld generally. It has, I mean, like, that's where you go after you die in this world. So it's supposed to be gloomy, it's supposed to be open, not particularly painful or not a lot of suffering, but just black. Um, and then I also had some blue. Obviously it's somber. It's a somber play. And I think that helps with it. I want lights to help bring all that stuff out though. Um, Another element I had here that I think would be a big part on stage is space. As you can see, it's a very minimalistic set, just with these levels here. Oh, I forgot to talk about these. 5x5. They're supposed to go up. This is a little bit not to scale, I will admit. I'd like these to go up a little bit more in reality, because obviously here is the elevator. So, but like I think it's all right. About half a foot and then maybe a foot there in reality. Um, yeah, I'd say that's about half a foot on our scale. But I'd like that. I was originally planning to be 1 foot up, then 2 feet up, a little bit taller. But in the end, I think that it's all right, because since it is a thrust stage, you do not want to be really blocking anybody's view here, which is why I find it most difficult to add a lot of furniture and different walls and stuff like that, especially with a thrust stage. But I really wanted the space to feel open, empty, things like that, just like a not particularly boring, of course, but I wanted it to feel like it's spacious. A lot of things to do with it. A lot of floating, sitting air is the way I like to think of it, because that's how I interpreted the book, how I interpret the underworld. Just a lot of floating, sitting air. It's lifeless, you know. One last element of design, obviously, I added this vertical part here. I wanted to have some vertical lines, so like because like I do believe that, I mean, like, it is the underworld, and the vertical line, the clean vertical, not particularly rigid as many people may believe the underworld to feel like, but I like to think of it as more clean, not as rigid, not particularly smooth, but not hindered by nature or the elements, because, you know, this is the underworld. It's lifeless. There's nothing to bite away at our architecture here. Yep, those are my 3 elements of design. I chose Eurydice just because I really liked. I mean, obviously, I love the play. I think it's really cool. I love the idea of having a set like Eurydice. I like that it's a 1 act, and there's just so many different settings here that I'm making a set. I mean, to fit all of those settings without obviously having long scene changes between each time is it's really important, and I thought a more minimalist approach would be good for that. Lastly, the set type. I had told you I chose thrust. I wanted to choose thrust because I feel like it's good if your VDC's done in the round a lot, or in a thrust stage like that. I think it's pretty cool to see. I don't know, because it's such a it's like those 4D movies, where they have like the rainwater on you, that and like the smells and whatnot. It's like when you're seeing your Vedici, you're really kind of immersed in the setting and immersed in the area around you. That I wanted it to be like that. All right, this is my Vedici set for Ethan Botter. Peace.